In the headlines, Managing Director of Bank of Agriculture regains freedom. Boko Haram executes 10 ISWAP fighters in Lake Chad. In business, CBN fines 3 banks 800 million naira for transactions. U.S. Senate to vote on ending trade with Moscow over invasion of Ukraine. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Zainab Bala. Hello and a warm welcome. The Managing Director of the Bank of Agriculture, Alwan Ali Hassan, has regained freedom from the terrorists who bombed the Abuja-Kaduna train. Hassan was among those abducted by the terrorists during the attack. The abductors released a video freeing the Managing Director. Look. We're going to bring you a video of that in our subsequent bulletin. Now, former Nigeria's President Goodluck Jonathan on Wednesday evening escaped death after he was involved in an auto crash in Abuja. The accident claimed the lives of 2 of his aides, Inspectors Ibrahim Abazi and Yakubu Toma. The accident happened while Jonathan was on his way from the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport to his residence in Abuja. Confirming the accident, Jonathan's special advisor on media and publicity, Ikechukwueze, offered condolences to the families of the deceased officers. He added that 2 other officers involved in the accident are receiving treatment at an undisclosed hospital in Abuja. At least 10 terrorists of the Islamic State of West African province ISWAP, including 10 commanders, were executed by its affiliate faction of Boko Haram in the northeast of Lake Chad. This was revealed by Zagazola Makama, a counterinsurgency expert who closely follows Boko Haram activities in the northeast. According to the expert, the Boko Haram terrorist faction of the Buduma overwhelmed the ISWAP in a gun battle, which resulted in the killing of many fighters on the riverbanks between Kaduna Rua and Kandahar axis of Niger Republic. Many fighters drowned in the water, while 10 ISWAP fighters were apprehended by the Budumas in the aftermath of the battle. Now, the federal government on Wednesday said the terrorists who attacked a military base in Birnungwari area of Kano State suffered heavy casualties when they were repelled. The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, said this while reacting to a question on insecurity after the Federal Executive Council meeting presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari at the Council Chamber of the Presidential Villa in Abuja. 11 soldiers were reportedly killed and several others injured in the attack on Tuesday. Mohammed, who said the government was not overwhelmed by insecurity across the country, contrary to public perception, stressed that not every success of the military in its war against terrorism was in the media space.
Yes, on a military base in Kaduna State, but what was not reported was the very timely and efficient manner it was repelled, and the huge casualties suffered by the bandits terrorists. I think yesterday a particular television station actually reported this. I also have a video of the area interdiction by the military. You see, I keep saying this is an asymmetrical war in which we are not at liberty always to tell you how, in details, how the camps of the bandits and terrorists are being decimated daily. It's a war of attrition. But our military is living up to the billing.
Now let's take you back to an earlier story as the video is ready for you to see. The managing director of the Bank of Agriculture, Alwal Ali Hassan, has regained freedom from the terrorist who bombed the Abuja-Kaduna train. Hassan was among those abducted by the terrorists during the attack. The abductors released a video freeing the managing director. Look.
Mu da ne jama'an da muka kama wayannan mutanen nan a jirgin kasa kun ba ga sanan da kun gansu wannan da cikin iko Allah da neman alfarma da yayi ta yi da yanayin ganin tsofarsa da yayi shine muka tausaya masa yanzu da yanayin wata na Ramadan muka fitar da shi zamu mika wa ƴan uwarsa amma wannan gwamnati kusan abin da kuke kai wannan ba komai bane mun dai tausaya masa ne mun mika masa gashi nan dai in yana da wani ƙarin bayani da zai muku sai ya muku kuji daga bakinsa wannan dai shine insha Allah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Ina so na shaida muku cewa an tausaya min saboda girma na da tsofana da nake da shi aka ce in fita. Amma ina so shaida muku cewa na ba al'umma a baya da dama kuma suna cikin yanayin da suna buƙatar taimako da ɗaukaka na a fito da su da wuri. Ina fata gwamnati za ta samu shugabannin wannan ƙungiya ta magana da su don a samu fito da su da wuri. Assalamu alaikum.
There you go. Now, the National Reconciliation and Strategy Committee of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, on Wednesday in Abuja submitted its report to the National Working Committee, NWC, of the party. The report recommendations said that could strengthen the party ahead of next elections. Trust TV's Shafiu Suleiman reports.
Submitting the report to the national chairman on behalf of the committee, which was set up in November last year, to examine and resolve disputes across all levels of the party, Chairman of the committee, Senator Bukola Saraki, says the report contains detail of grievances that were mostly generated from the interface with various stakeholders across the 6 geopolitical zones. As part of strategies to reposition the party, the committee recommends slashing the cost of nomination forms to encourage youth participation, ensure thorough scrutiny of party officials who will be saddled with the responsibility of conducting primary elections across board in order to avoid internal disputes as observed in the past.
We have discovered that the conduct of primaries to elect candidates to represent the party has been a source of great intra-party conflict and friction in the past, resulting in PDP being severely weakened and hampering its chances of success in previous elections. Mr. Chairman, we believe that you and other members of NWC are men and women of great courage and integrity who have displayed a commitment to our party, its ideals and its values. We want to advise that the party leadership should at all times adhere to the principles of equity and justice, good conscientiousness and inclusiveness.
Receiving the report, National Chairman of the PDP, Senator Yachia Ayu, says the party leadership is proactively addressing some of the concerns that put the party on the edge with a view to strengthening it ahead of the next elections.
We'll go through this report meticulously and very soon submit it to NEC, since it's a NEC committee. And we believe that NEC will implement, we have not only approved the report, but will also help us to implement some of the recommendations which you are contained in this report.
He takes the opportunity to lash on the government of the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, over the deteriorating security situation in the country, describing it as the next level the party promised Nigerians. Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The Nigerian Senate has considered a bill to establish the National Religious Harmony Commission. The bill, sponsored by Senator Sadiq Suleiman, scaled second reading during plenary this Wednesday. The report.
Leading the debate on the general principles of the bill, Umar said the legislation seeks to establish the National Religious Harmony Commission to serve as an intervention to promote tolerance, peace, and harmony in the country. The lawmaker explained that the UN Charter seeks the promotion and respect for human rights and fundamental freedoms for all without distinction to race, sex, language, or religion. He noted that such principle is equally embedded in the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Having realized the sensitive role of religion in national security, peace, and harmony, the federal government wishes to promote interreligious harmony and understanding due to the checkered history of religious intolerance in Nigerian polity. The bill seeks to create an enabling environment for the peaceful coexistence of all adherents of different religious beliefs within the Nigerian nation, and as well provide for a forum for public enlightenment and dialogue on to limit controversy and confrontation over allegations of discriminations based on religious beliefs and identities.
The bill, after consideration, was referred to the Committee on Establishment and Public Service Matters for legislative input. The committee has 4 weeks to report back.
A bill for an act to provide for the establishment of the National Religious Harmony Commission and for other matters connected there to 2022 second reading taken, and the bill is referred to the Committee on Establishment and Public Service Matters for further legislative action to report back within 4 weeks.
In a related development, a bill seeking to amend the Federal Colleges of Education Act to establish the Federal College of Education, Arochukwu, Abia State, by converting the existing College of Education, Technical Arochukwu, to a Federal College of Education, also scaled through second reading. The bill was sponsored by Senator Oji Uzo Kalu, representing Abia North. The bill has been referred to the Committee on Tertiary Institutions and Tech Fund for further work. The committee is given 4 weeks to report back.
You're watching Trust TV News Update coming up. How rope making changes fortunes of villagers. Details of this story and more after the break. Do stay. Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is Trust TV News Update, a recap of our top stories. The managing director of the Bank of Agriculture, Alwal Ali Hassan, has regained freedom from the terrorists who bombed the Abuja-Kaduna train. At least 10 terrorists of the Islamic State of West Africa Province, ISWAP, including top commanders, were executed by its affiliate faction of Boko Haram in northeast of Lake Chad. Still ahead, a large number of telecommunications subscribers trying to link their national identification number and subscriber identification module were left frustrated on Wednesday as heavy traffic on telecom networks slowed down the process. This is coming after the federal government, through telecom companies, barred Nigerians who had not linked their SIMs and NINs together from making calls. The move was aimed at enforcing compliance with the federal government's SIM-NIN policy. Due to the traffic, they have appealed to the federal government to extend the process by 3 months to enable them complete the NIN-SIM linkage. The House of Representatives on Wednesday mandated its committees on telecommunications and banking and currency to look into the cases of telecommunications subscribers who have fallen victims of the breach of privacy and identity theft. The committee, which is expected to report back within 4 weeks, is also to identify inadequacies in the relevant regulatory frameworks and proffer solutions. The House's resolution followed the adoption of a motion on the need to protect telephone subscribers from breach of privacy, fraud, and loss of money by Rep. Olushola Steve Fatubi.
Of privacy cases of fraud and consequently financial loss are on the increase. Also concerns that many Nigerians are falling victim to illegal and unauthorized deduction of funds from their bank accounts because their financial institutions keep sending their bank account transaction details into their Itato phone numbers, which have been reassigned to new subscribers, thus opening a dangerous window for fraudulent activities.
Elsewhere, Kwara State government, with the support of the World Bank, has commenced an environmental project aimed at halting and remedying devastating effects of global warming, environmental degradation and related health challenges in the state. Speaking during formal inauguration of both the State Steering and Technical Committees of Agro-Climate Resilience in Semi-Arid Landscapes in Ilorin, the State Commissioner for Environment, Abuja Brimo, said that the state government had paid 500 million naira counterpart fund for the project implementation.
The commissioner, who described the agroclimatic resilience in semi-arid landscapes as a multi-sectoral project involving ministries of environment, agriculture and water resources, added that other sectors like finance and planning would provide the project with required support staff too. Mrs. Buraimo said apart from the payment of 500 million naira counterpart fund, the state government had also approved and released about 5 million naira for the rehabilitation and minimal equipping of the Project Coordination Office in the State Ministry of Environment. She said the project would be implemented through conscious build-up of agricultural and climatic resilience of the environment in a strategic and sustainable manner.
With the Constitution approval and inauguration holding today, the administration of His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Kwara State, Malam Abraman Abrazak, has complied substantially with the state's effective readiness for the project's immediate takeoff. So it is worth mentioning that this milestone is in addition to other fulfillments such as the 500 million naira counterpart fund, approval and release of about 5 million naira for the rehabilitation and minimal equipping of the Project Coordination Office housed in the State Ministry of Environment.
Inaugurating the committees, the State Deputy Governor, Kayode Alabi, said the inauguration of the two committees was part of the state's demonstration of readiness to effectively kickstart the project in the state.
There is no gainsaying that His Excellency Madam Abdurrahman Abrazak-led administration has demonstrated desire to sustainably develop the states through meaningful collaboration with sub-national, national and international institutions to improve the states across board. It is indeed a manifestation of His Excellency's love, concern and yearnings for a better Kwara.
The Central Bank of Nigeria has imposed an 800 million naira fine on 3 deposit money banks in the country for violating regulations barring customers from transacting in cryptocurrencies. According to a Bloomberg report released on Wednesday, the 3 banks are Access Bank PLC, Stanbic IBTC and the United Bank for Africa. The report noted that the penalties were part of efforts by the Apex Bank to ensure that banks implement an order to block trading in cryptocurrencies due to the threat they pose to Nigeria's financial system. The directive was contained in a circular issued by the CBN in February 2021, and the report stated that Access Bank was fined 500 million for failure to close customers' crypto accounts, according to a filing with the Nigerian Exchange Limited, while UBA incurred a 100 million naira penalty for digital currency transactions by a consumer. Now, local rope from raffia plant is a business of people, mostly rural dwellers in northern Nigeria. Locals, mostly from communities in Katsina, make ropes from these tropical plants called raffia to complement their means of livelihood, especially during dry seasons. Trust TV's Abdullahi Ahmadi visits Mashi Market in Katsina State to see how the business of rope making thrives and how it turns around the economic lives of those engaged in it.
Mashi Market is located some 30 kilometers east of the ancient city of Katsina on Daura Road. These people buy ropes from the locals and transport them to the southern part of Nigeria, where they are used to tie cola nuts and sugarcane. We take these ropes to faraway Lagos, Shagamu, some parts of Bauchi, and of course some parts of Adamawa State for sale. They used to tie sugarcane and other, so they use it for so many purposes. Out of this rope business, we get what we eat, we put our body and souls together, and we make some benefits out of it. Besides buying food, we take care of our families, and so on and so forth. Local ropes are also to make fences, sheds in local markets, and other domestic purposes. The business also helps the locals economically as it complements their livelihood. I can tell you, we used to get what we want from this business. When we come to the market, we sell this raffia plant. Sometimes we bring the ropes, then we sell them. We get what we buy cranes from the sales we made. Modernization has also crept into this local trade, as many have devised the use of rugs, barks of trees, and other fibers in rope making. However, in spite of all this, the rope making from raffia plant continues to thrive and give people the much needed comfort. Another thing that has a similar economic value made from raffia plant is a hand-woven mat and hat. These products are also diminishing as they are being replaced by rubber mats. Stakeholders in the business are calling for government intervention to revive the sector and save it from extinction. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
Very interesting report there. Now, generally, prices of commodities within the country have been on a constant rise. This has drastically reduced the purchasing power of the naira, as many can barely afford basic necessities of life. With the coming of the Islamic fasting season known as Ramadan, many are worried that prices of commodities may rise even higher. Chamun Dabeng was on the streets of Abuja to find out.
This is Wuse Market, Abuja, and today we're going to be speaking to buyers to find out if there have been any changes in the prices, especially now that Ramadan has begun.
Everything is high. Tomato, I think we used to buy tomato before, it's not the basket, this small basket, we used to buy it before, it's not 800 naira. So now we bought it 2.5. It's 2.5, we are buying it now. Everything, I don't know what happened, but even rice, beans, this catfish that we used to buy is 800, now it's 1.5, so don't know.
Government has to regulate everything, but I don't know what is happening. Everything in this market, you come up with 100,000 naira, you won't be able to see what you bought with. I'm just bleeding from my heart, honestly speaking. I'm not happy.
For now, I came for this yam. The same yam that he sold for me the last time I was here, 4,000, I think 4,004. So he's calling it 7,000. And I think it's before this Ramadan, because things have been skyrocketing right from this fuel scarcity and the problems around. It's not just now. So I'm thinking it's just getting worse now because of the Ramadan.
I actually came to the market today because I've been sending somebody to the market and they've been giving me like ridiculous prices. So today I'm like, okay, let me come and see what the prices are all about. But as you can see, I'm finding it difficult to actually believe what I'm buying. This plantain guy is on my neck because that plantain would usually be like 700, but now it's like 1,005, which is like really high, and it's just the prices are just ridiculous.
I just bought chicken. The last time I bought chicken was like 2.5. Right now I just bought one local chicken for 3,500 naira. No. I'm not. I don't think so. I mean, there's been a hike. I mean, since not before the Ramadan started. So I'm not sure it's because of the Ramadan. Yeah.
The prices of commodities in the market have continued to show a steady hike with absolutely no sign of slowing down, making the Ramadan buying extra difficult and many Nigerians expressing their displeasure in the less than kind market prices. Shamun Dabeng, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And on the foreign scene, the U.S. Senate will vote on Thursday to end normal trade relations with Russia and to ban the importation of its oil. Both bills have been bogged down in the Senate. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said he wished the vote could have happened sooner, but noted that after weeks of talks, it was important that they have found a pathway forward. The trade suspension measure paves the way for U.S. President Joe Biden to enact higher tariffs on certain Russian imports. The bill banning Russian oil would codify restrictions Biden has already put in place through executive action. And in sports, Nasarawa Amazons on Wednesday beat Niger Rattles 3-2 in Nigeria Women Football League final group game in Kefi. Trust TV's Adeni Ajishafe has more.
Two Nigerian Women Football League final group North Central derby match between Nasarawa Amazons and Niger Rattles at Tuko Buratai Snake Farm football pitch. Kefi ends in 5-goal thriller, with home team Amazons having an edge in a 3-2 win over Rattles. Daniel Precious opened scoring for Niger Rattles in 11th minute, while Josephine Matthias equalized for Amazons via sport kick 4 minutes later. Udoma Amarachi makes it 2-1 for Nasarawa in 27th minute to end first half. Both teams squared up in the second half till 56th minute as Messi Doko makes it 3-1 for home team. The duel continued till 72nd minute when Paulina Ochio drifted in a shot at goal to beat Amazon's goalkeeper, pulling one back to cap it 3-2 for Rattles, ending Group A match day 14.
We don't only want to win, we want to top the table. So we came with a plan. Win your last match, you are the first in your group. That's you're sending a signal before you go to Super 6, and that's exactly what we're doing.
Christopher Danjuma says his team game plan to top Group A worked out. Nigeria tells assistant coach Ayan Goshi also expressed fulfillment despite a team loss.
Well, the two teams have been meeting for some time now, so we are really neighbor, to each other. So we wouldn't want anyone to go down.
3-2 in favor of the home team, Nasarawa Amazon, where the two teams squared up. But right now, what matters most is that the two teams qualify for the Super 6. We wait to see who will win the league. That will be the discussion between all Nigerian football lovers. We'll be talking about the NWFL right now. Between the 6 teams, Edo Queens, Rivers Angels, Bayelsa Queens, Delta Queens, Nasarawa Amazon, and also Niger Rattles. Who will win the 2021-2022 NWFL 6? We'll wait to see. Adeni Ajishafe, Trust TV, Kefi.
Very interesting one there. Well, with that, we wrap up news update. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I'm Zainab Bala. See you in a moment.